Today I'm going to show you possibly the cheapest way to make a hinge out of EMT conduit and maker pipe connectors. We've been on this mission to figure out how to do hinges for everything from garden enclosures to whatever, you name it. A hinge has been a customer pain point, and we're committed to try to figure out and share a lot of ideas what's the best way to do this. And there's probably not one best way, but I feel pretty confident that this is a truly inexpensive way to do it. We just did a video on how to use different connectors, and I look back on that now and I'm thinking, well, that was way too complicated. So you're gonna love this one. And what this basically does is it uses 1/2-inch EMT as the pivot to pivot 3/4-inch EMT. And if you didn't know, 1/2-inch EMT fits inside of 3/4. It's loose, there's a little bit of wiggle room, but essentially, if you do that, you've got two independent pieces that can hinge. And imagine this is a gate, right? There's this on the top and the bottom, or this is a flip open window if it's oriented like this, all kinds of different uses. But the thing that makes this work is inside of the EMT conduit, we have pressed in our threaded inserts, and these are the no-lip threaded inserts. We have these in we have them in 3/8 and 1/4-inch threaded, but it doesn't matter, either one would work. And we pressed them in from, we pressed them in from this side, so it was shorter, and that when the force of the 1/2-inch comes in it, then it won't push it any further. If you placed it like this, it would keep inching the threaded inserts because of the fins and how it grabs onto the pipe. So we pressed it in from the opposite end on both sides. You can see it, they're in both of them right there, and we pressed them in from the outside, and that stops the 1/2-inch conduit. It gives it a surface to ride on, and then you can get a super tight gap in between. Let's say if this was a garden enclosure, you can get a super tight gap in between the two connectors, which is critical. You don't want critters getting in there, and it just looks awesome too. So the connectors go on the outside 3/4 like that. And it doesn't only have to be T connectors like here. You could use 90s, 180s, whatever you want, however you want to configure your build. But there you got a hinge that'll work pretty good. And something to note is you do want to size this 1/2-inch piece of conduit, and we just cut this with a tubing cutter, but you want to size it the distance from your insert to insert. So you got to pay attention to that to make this work. And you could increase the gap a little bit depending on the size of the 1/2-inch EMT. So it doesn't, I don't know, we're constantly surprised by ideas that come around, but I don't think you're going to get much more inexpensive way to make a hinge than this. If you do have an idea, we'd love to hear it, and we'll share it on the channel. Make sure to leave a comment down below if you've got an idea for a hinge. We'd love to hear it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one.